allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, and in speaking with Mr. Rhodes prior to the meeting, I understand that 7.1 and 7.3 have been complied with, so there's also a small discrepancy. 7.2 should be case number CE 24-289 MAN instead of 298. And so with those cases in compliance, and with that small change to the agenda, I'll go ahead and approve the agenda. And the minutes from the last meeting, I took a look at before the meeting, and they look good too, so I'll approve those. And Mr. Burns, if you could go ahead and administer the oath.
Staff, and if both of y'all are going to be testifying in your case, raise your hand as well. Do y'all swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, everyone's under oath.
All right, thank you, Mr. Burns. And with that, we will go right into the public hearings and case 7.2, CE 24-298 MAN. Just go ahead when you're ready.
Magistrate of City of Fort Walton Beach, Code Enforcement. This is for case CE 24289-MAN. The address is 3 Choctahatchee Road, Southeast Fort Walton Beach. According to the tax records, the owner of the property is Mary Rojas. The property was originally found in violation 296 days ago on April 29, 2024. This case was brought before the magistrate on 9/18/2024. It was found in violation of grass height, litter, and maintenance. The magistrate issued an order giving the respondents 90 days until 12/17/2024 to obtain the required permits and 180 days, March 17, 2025, to bring the property into compliance with the ability to ask for more time as long as progress was being made. An inspection of the property on December 17, 2024 found that the violations had not been corrected as ordered, and no permits had been pulled. On January 29th, the statement of non-compliance was filed. On January 29th, 2025, service was obtained for the notice of hearing. At this time, staff would like to enter the exhibits into the record. Exhibit G, the case history report. Exhibit D, Exhibit I, the September 18, 2024 order of the special magistrate. Exhibit J, the January 29, 2025 statement of non-compliance. Exhibit K, the notice of hearing and purpose service. Exhibit L, photographs, and the MICO online audit log. Staff is requesting the acceptance of findings of fact, conclusions of law, and issuance of an order 2, including the $325 administrative fee. Staff also recommends a fine amount of $100 per day, starting on 12/18/2024, the date previously set by the magistrate. I do want to add a couple of details that came to light after the order 1 was issued. Her son originally came in her place for the order 1. She was out of the country at the time, and the information from the order 1 was sent to the address at 33 Choctahatchee, which is the only address that I had. When her son was here, he refused to give me his address so I could mail him the information. I don't know the exact time frame, but it was a month or so later. Ms. Rojas moved back to Florida. I met with her at the property, and I gave her the information from the hearing that she claimed she didn't have. So there is some discrepancy on whether at what time she got the information, and she was unaware of the timelines until I gave those to her. So I do know from the audit log, in GO. The order said by December 17th, the permits had to be pulled. And according to the audit log, the permit was applied for on January 7th of 2025.
Okay.
She's here today to talk about some of the issues that she's had in getting the permit. I do have some pictures, but the pictures I have today are just of the lot being cleaned up. All the litter has been picked up. It's been mowed and raked. So
Okay.
that part looks great. It's just the maintenance part that's an issue now. We have some windows and doors and things that need to be taken care of.
Okay, yeah, let me go ahead and see those and see your exhibits, and then I'll hear from, is this Ms. Rojas back here? After you get through with your presentation, I'll hear from Ms. Rojas.
And as point of order, as Ms. Rojas had a chance to see the exhibits as well.
That's right, Ms. Rojas.
I met with her just a
Okay.
minute or two.
And Ms. Rojas, do you have any objection to these exhibits entering into the record, which is, okay, thank you. And you can go through those.
These are pictures that I took yesterday of the lot being cleaned up. Before, there was the second-story balcony that had fallen down that was in the yard. It's all been cleaned up, it's been raked and mowed. So the yard itself looks great except for the maintenance issues, the siding and some of the window issues and soffit.
Okay, so what exactly are the remaining issues then?
The remaining issues are the second floor, balcony that fell. There's a French door that goes right out to the second floor. So that has to be, she's going to block it off. So permits need to be pulled for the maintenance issues, for
Okay.
some of the windows that need replaced, the second floor door, the soffit, the siding, all need permits. So that's what she's working on now, but as of this morning, the permits have not been accepted.
Okay. And what communication has the city had with her? I understand you had that meeting with her for the first time when she got back from out of the country, but has the city met with her and discussed with her what she needs to do to come into
Yes.
compliance?
I met with her at the property for probably about 45 minutes. We walked the property. I told her exactly what needed to be done, which items needed permits, and what type of work she could do without the permits.
And when was that meeting?
It was probably mid-October.
Okay.
As I told her, her time was quickly running out for the December 17th.
Your Honor.
You'll have a chance.
I'll hear from you in just a minute. Just a minute.
It could have been later than that.
Okay.
That was approximate time.
Okay. So as far as service, you mailed the notices to the property. Is that?
For this hearing,
Yeah, for this hearing.
so it was posted on the door.
Posted.
And I spoke with her on the phone and told her of the hearing for today.
Okay. And when was that phone call?
On whatever date I posted, I think it was the 29th.
Same day as posting. Okay.
The letter of non-compliance and the posting were done on the same day, whatever date that is.
Okay. Anything else you think you need to tell me before I ask Ms. Rojas here? All right, thanks. And Ms. Rojas, if you want to step up and kind of tell me your perspective and your version of events here.
Your Honor, I wasn't here until I didn't get here.
Ma'am, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Can you bend that microphone down directly to where it, right, so we can hear you better? Thank you.
I wasn't here in October. I didn't get here until first week in December.
Okay.
And can you state your name for the record?
Yes, Marie Michael Rojas.
Thank you.
And ma'am, you were out of the country?
Excuse me?
You were out of the country?
Yes, sir. My husband was in problems with, he had to have 2 prostheses in his hips, so I was there. I was
Okay.
in Central.
How long were you in Panama?
8.5 years.
Okay, that's a long time. It was for this medical issue?
There was, I was told it was an emergency with the house, so I had to get everything together very quickly, and I wasn't prepared for that. So everything was gonna, and then when I came, before I came, I didn't know where I was gonna live because everyone kept telling me that the house was not livable. And so my daughter told me to come to her house. She's on base. But I'm living in the house. I've been living in the house. The house is livable. This is my son. My son had told me that it was unlivable, et cetera, et cetera. So I've been trying to do everything to be in compliance. I don't want to do anything. I want to work with y'all, and I told Mr. Taylor that, and I'm very sorry for the permit, because the permit we called. My brother has helped me, and my daughter, and now we got his son finally that helped us, but that really put the thing through. But we called like 3 or 4 times to the technical assist, and they never called us back. So we didn't know what to do. We couldn't put in the pictures or the expenditures. And I'm not, I'll tell you for sure, I'm not really too savvy. I know a little bit, but I'm not too savvy for putting in the format and everything in the computer. So I had to have some
help.
But I'm trying to do my best, and I talked to Mr. Taylor, and I told Mr. Taylor I want to do according to. And I had 2 people that I had told that I needed the yard done. And the one person never called me back. I told them, yes, come. And they never came, and they never called me back. And the second one was during the snow, their vehicle was ruined. So anyway.
But you do have the yard cleaned up,
Yes,
it appears,
yes,
at this point.
and thank the Lord, because for me, I didn't like the way it looked at all. That's not how I do the yard, and I'm a person that I like landscaping and all that stuff too. I like to keep things straightened up. But anyway, it's been very difficult for me because, like I said, I've been out of the country for 8.5 years. I really don't know all the computer stuff, some things. But as far as the back is concerned and everything, and the front, that was all done. And they also told me that the people that did that also told me they had a group of some kids from the church that would come and rake for me too. So anyway, so
Okay.
I'm
But ma'am, you understand, I think what the city needs for you to come into compliance at this point is to initially pull some permits and then have some work done to the house. You understand that's what needs to get done from here on out?
Yes, sir, and I want to go, I want to know what you all want first to do, etc., so that I can get that done, and you can see that I'm working my best that I can.
I believe you are working the best you can from what I'm hearing here today and seeing.
I'm sorry, I've just been by myself.
Yep.
If I had been for my brother and some other people, I would be in deep
And
trouble.
I think what the city probably needs to do is sit down with her and explain and go through the process with her of pulling those permits. I think there might have been some miscommunication and maybe some technological know-how that you don't possess at this time.
They sent back my brother knows, they sent back a message the other day that we needed additional information. I'm not exactly sure what that is. Maybe some numbers on some windows or something, because we had the expenditures and the pictures ready to go, but they just wouldn't go through.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm not particularly inclined to enter the Order 2 here today because I've seen the yards complied with. We have Ms. Rojas here today. She's clearly making efforts. Obviously, there's some barriers with the technology and the communication that I think need to be overcome. And hopefully, maybe while Ms. Rojas is even here today, it's something to be set up with the city to meet with her and try and achieve compliance. But because of the ongoing efforts and the fact that she's here today and has come into compliance on some aspects with her yard in particular, I'm not going to enter this Order 2 today. I think what I'd prefer to do to ensure that there is continuing efforts at compliance is I just want to set this hearing again for next month and see what kind of progress has been made. And so long as the permits have been pulled, I want the city to meet with you and explain to you how to do that. And I want you to go ahead and pull the permits and begin the work to the extent you can. And so long as that continuing effort is being made, I'm not particularly inclined to enter the order at this time. So
Your Honor, is that a continuance or postponed?
It's a, I guess
It's continuous.
it's continuance.
Continuance, thank
Right.
you.
Is it possible to have more time to finish?
I'd like to ensure that there is efforts at compliance. I just want to continue it to next month and see what kind of progress has been made between the parties. So,
And what date is that?
yeah, what date is that?
It's March 19th, I believe.
Yes, you're correct.
And we waive service, we don't have to serve her for that hearing, she'll,
I have no problem so long as she's acceptable to waiver.
March 19th to come here?
That's right. And so,
9 o'clock too?
Yes.
yes, ma'am. And so what Mr. Rhodes is asking is if you will waive official service of process and just accept this as your notification as the next hearing.
Yes, sir.
So,
And I hate to do this,
Yeah.
Your Honor. That only requires the certified mailing, right, Bert, to posting and certified mail to Mr. Rojas? Is that-
correct.
Just for, if this ever went the civil route, as the
Right.
city attorney, I prefer that we have proof that the actual certified mail went out.
Okay, so you want to go ahead and
And that's just my request, Your Honor.
yeah, sure. I mean, that's the city's decision.
Yeah.
However y'all want to approach that is fine with me.
So you're going to send something to the house?
Yes, Mr. Rhodes is going to send to you, they have to notify you of the hearing, and so he'll send to you by certified mail notice of the hearing. Again, but just know, we're telling you here today, it's going to be March
March 19th.
19th at 9 a.m. And
That's a Wednesday.
it'll be a third Wednesday of next month. So I really need to see some additional efforts, and I hope that the city will sit down with you. I think that the city needs to sit down with you, go through
That'll
exactly.
help me a lot.
And hopefully someone here can help you set that up. Maybe if you can either talk to Mr. Taylor here after your case or after the meeting, just hang around and let's try and get you guys together, because I think that we can get compliance on this case. This seems like a case that we can do it. So,
Your discretion. I'm just like, I came here and I was kind of like,
yeah.
you know, everything. Can I ask you do you have something that you want done first?
Not from my seat. I'm just the judge in this case. I just want you to work with the city and just comply with their rules. So
Is it all right if we start in the front of the house?
well, just work with the city. Your first step's going to be pulling the permits, so they'll describe what kind of work you can do. But the city can go with that
Will
through you.
they tell me once the permits are pulled and they're good and everything, they'll tell me what they want done first or not?
Yes, I'm sure that Mr. Taylor can explain to you exactly what the issues are. Yeah.
Okay. I just want you to know, Your Honor, thank you so very much, and I appreciate everything, and I appreciate your patience and everything that you're doing, and I'm totally at your mercy, because I'm very anxious to get my house back too.
Well,
I'm
and-
living there, and it's
and-
perfectly fine, it's fine. I mean, it has some cosmetic things that need to be done on the inside, but other than that, I'm living there and I'm fine, I have the utilities on and everything.
Yeah, I understand, and just to kind of reiterate it for the record here, as long as there's efforts at compliance, I'm not particularly inclined to take that next step, and here, what I see is efforts at compliance. So that's the
I'm
reason
so
for my
thrilled
decision.
that it's cleared, oh my God.
Yeah.
You don't know.
So,
Excuse me,
you're
excuse me.
good. We're really done with this case unless you have something else you want to say, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry,
No, you're fine.
I'm sorry.
So with that, nothing further on that case. 7.3 was complied with. We're going to move on to 7.4, which is case number CE 24-817 UNO. Go ahead, Mr. Rhodes.
I'm Robert Rhodes, Code Inspector, City of Fort Walton Beach. This is case CE-24-817-UNO. This case pertains to the subject address of 208 Combs Manor Court, Northwest. According to the tax records, the owner of said property is Zachary J. McLean. 99 days ago, on November 12th, 2024, the property was found in violation of unlicensed non-operative items, section 5.04.01 and 5.04.02, subsections 9 and 10, for prohibited accumulation outside storage of an unlicensed non-operative vehicle. On November 29th, 2024, service was obtained for the notice of violation. On December 11th, 2024, reinspection of the property found the violation had not been corrected. On January 15th, 2025, service was obtained for the notice of hearing, and on January 27th, 2025, photographs of the violation were taken. And on February 19th, 2025, the property remains in violation. At this time, staff would like to enter the exhibits into the record. Exhibit A is a case history report. Exhibit B is a list of exhibits. Exhibit C is a notice of hearing and proof of service. Exhibit D is a notice of violation and proof of service. Exhibit E is a copy of the inspector's qualifications. Exhibit F is a copy of the tax record showing the property's ownership. Exhibit G are the photographs of the violations. Staff is requesting acceptance of the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and issuance of Order 1, including the $325 administrative fee. Staff also recommends 11 days' time for compliance of the violations. This would make your compliance deadline on March 1st, 2025. And there's no respondent here for this case, so I'll let you have the exhibits.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mr. Rhodes.
I did call the property owner, a couple of weeks ago, approximately, and he said he had received the letters and assured me he'd have the vehicle removed prior to the hearing, but it's still there this morning, so.
You got some pictures too?
Yes, sir. It doesn't look bad, it's just a car with no tag.
Right.
That's basically it. It's just a small blue vehicle. I can't remember if it's a Toyota or not, but it's.
Mm-hmm. Well, man, I think that pretty clearly violates the city's code. And that photo was taken, when was it taken?
That was taken on the 27th, January 27th. But it looked just like that this morning. I took more pictures this morning.
Gotcha.
Identical to that.
All right. Well, if that's the case, I think this is a pretty clear violation, and we will enter the findings of fact, conclusions of law in order, and assess the $325 administrative fee as well. Anything else on that one, Mr. Rhodes? All right, move on to 7.5, which is case CE 24831 ROF.
Okay. There's two cases on this same property. Robert Rhodes, Code Inspector, City of Fort Walton Beach. This is case CE-24-831-ROF. This case pertains to the subject address of 105 Moriarty Street, Northwest. According to the tax records, the owner of said property is David L. Carr. 93 days ago, on November 18th, 2024, the property was found in violation of roof maintenance, section 5.07.01, subsection K, failure to repair and maintain deteriorated roofing. On November 23rd, 2024, service was obtained for the notice of violation. On December 30th, 2024, a reinspection of the property found the violations had not been corrected. On January 10th, 2025, service was obtained for the notice of hearing. On November 20th, 2024, and January 8th of 2025, photographs of the violations were taken. On February 19th, 2025, the property remains in violation. At this time, staff would like to enter the exhibits into the record. Exhibit A is a case history report. Exhibit B is a list of exhibits. Exhibit C is a notice of hearing and proof of service. Exhibit D is a notice of violation and proof of service. Exhibit E is a copy of the inspector's qualifications. Exhibit F is a copy of the tax record showing the property's ownership. Exhibit G are the photographs of the violations, and staff is requesting acceptance of the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and issuance of Order 1, including the $325 administrative fee. Staff also recommends 70 days time for compliance of the violations. This would make your compliance deadline on April 30th, 2025. And a little extra background. I just changed the recommendation date this morning. The property owners have left the property had some ailments, moved up north. They were in the process of moving away from the property when the case started. So I posted notices in the yard as they were coming and going with their U-Hauls and stuff. But now they have a company trying to purchase the property. They're trying to close on March 5th.
Okay.
I told them if they would have complied the litter, which is in the next case, that I would have pulled both of them, but they didn't even do that. So
Gotcha.
I went ahead and said, let's get an order. So I put 70 days, April 30th, that way if they close on March 5th, the new owner will have enough time to get the roof permitted and done something with.
Okay.
So that's this one, and there's no one here, so I'll let you have the exhibits into the record.
Okay. And I should have noted for the record also that the exhibits in the last case, CE 24-817, are also accepted for the record. Do these real quick, and then you got some pictures for me too. Sure.
Yes, sir. So there were multiple other violations. The roof is what you're looking at here. You can see the roof is tarped. As of today, this red trailer, they took that with them when they left. This is the other side of the house. You see the tarp. The entire house is covered in tarp. In the other case, it's going to cover this litter, the door, and stuff that's in the yard. See the back of the house is tarped also, and the fence was down. They fixed the fence. They did that before they left. Irrelevant to this case, but there was someone living in the shed. It's a small shed with a window unit. Been told they're no longer in the shed, but I don't have any proof other than there's no real evidence showing anybody coming or going. So this one's just for the roof. We're asking for the 70 days, and then we'll get into the other case.
Okay. Clearly there's a roof violation here. It looks like all the exhibits are in order. Let me check one thing. Okay, and so I'll accept the exhibits into the record and enter the findings, fact, conclusions, law, and the order 1 with the 70 days for compliance, which is April 30th, 2025, and the $325 administrative fee will also be assessed. Anything else on this one?
No, sir, that'll do it.
All right, so last one we got then is 7.6, which is CE 24-826 in US.
Okay, this is the same property on Robert Rhodes, Code Inspector, City of Fort Walton Beach. This is case CE-24-826-NUS. This case pertains to the subject address of 105 Moriarty Street, Northwest. According to the tax record, the owner of said property is David L. Carr. 93 days ago, on November 18th, 2024, the property was found in violation of grass height developed, section 5.07.01, subsection S, for failure to cut and maintain all grass and weeds to 12 inches or less, including the rear yard. Litter, section 5.04.01, subsections 1 through 7, and 5.04.02, subsections 2, 4, 6, 7, and 9, for prohibited accumulation and outside storage of buckets, ladders, appliances, furniture, containers, construction materials, a door, household items, litter, and debris. Also nuisance, section 5.04.01, subsections A through G, and 5.04.02, subsections 1 through 13, for failure to maintain the property and grounds in a clean and safe and sanitary condition. The front and rear yard is littered with furniture, appliances, construction materials, household items, containers, litter, and debris. Also, with that, it was a prohibited occupancy and unsafe use of a storage shed as a living space. And the rear yard was overgrown and providing a harboring of rodents and snakes and other pests. Also, permitted uses, LDC section 2.03.00, as described in the tables at 2.03.02 for prohibited use of an R1 zone property for other than one of the permitted uses as described by code. Occupancy of a storage shed, non-habitable structure, and/or multi-use are not permitted uses in the R1 zoning district. So that's the list of violations. And on November 23rd, 2024, service was obtained for the notice of violation. On December 9th, 2024, reinspection found the property violations had not been corrected. And on January 10th, 2025, service was obtained for the notice of hearing. And on November 20th, 2024, December 26th, 2024, and January 8th of 2025, photographs of the violations were taken. And as of February 19th, 2025, the property remains in violation. At this time, staff would like to enter the exhibits into the record. Exhibit A is a case history report. Exhibit B is a list of exhibits. Exhibit C is a notice of hearing and proof of service. Exhibit D is a notice of violation and proof of service. Exhibit E is a copy of inspector's qualifications. Exhibit F is a copy of the tax record showing the property's ownership. Exhibit G are the photographs of the violations. Staff is requesting acceptance of the findings of fact, conclusions of law, and issuance of Order 1, including the $325 administrative fee. Staff also recommends 24 days for compliance of the violations. This would make your compliance deadline on March 15th, 2025. And again, as in the last case, this would give assuming they close on March 5th, that'd give the new buyer 10 days. If they don't, it gives the current owner a little additional time.
Right. All right. Probably got the same pictures here, don't you? Because we saw some of that in the last.
Yeah, I got a few more with
Gotcha.
this other one. Okay, this is the front door, November 20th. Oh, not up there yet.
They are in there. If you can't get them up, that's okay. They're in there, and I do observe the violations. You know, we could also observe the violations in the last case as well.
Going down on
So,
the first one, front door area with construction materials and stuff, and then that's all November 20th. Again, the red trailer we saw in the last case, that's been removed. The door, the buckets and stuff still out in the front yard. The fence has been put up in the back, so all that's not visible. The rear grass in the rear yard, I have no idea because I can't see it any longer. And like I said, I haven't seen any evidence of anybody coming or going. And the neighbors trying to watch it as close as they can. I don't call police anytime they see something. The police did go in. There's big body cam footage of where they went in through the front gate into the back, and the shed door was open, and they could tell somebody had been living in there, but
Right.
they weren't currently there. So hopefully that's a thing of the past, but
well, hopefully it'll close and change hands here.
yeah.
New owners will take care of it. But in the meantime, again, there's pretty clearly a violation here. I did flip through the exhibits, and I'll accept those into the record. And we'll go ahead and enter the findings of fact, conclusions of law in order as it was presented with the 24 days to come into compliance on March 15th, 2025, and assess the $325 administrative fee. So, anything else? Mr. Ray? All right, that was a quick one today. All right, if there's nothing else from anybody, I guess we'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting.